Beyond the years of time, only a simple creed of assassins have written their history in the shadows, whispering their motto: nothing is true, everything is permitted. Yet their enemy, the Templar Knight Order, has searched to eradicate this set of hidden assassins with their own motto of twisted views. May the Father of Understanding guide us. The creed of the Assassin Brotherhood have sworn to keep the free will of mankind, giving their lives endlessly against an order of knights who wish to force obedience, though this battle may be in no books within history. It is only in the animus. A machine of which uses genetic coding, can it tell this ancient and secretive history, reliving them through the memories of the ancestors, Templars or Assassin? The history of this rivalry will reveal more than just who these ancestors were. They will reveal ancient artifacts known as the Pieces of Eden. And now, the history of an assassin by the name of Francide Dorian shall be revealed, not to find a piece of Eden, but to know what these shadows were like. Within the riots of the dirtied and tattered Les Invalides streets ran an assassin dressed in teal robes and hood on, shoving her way through the crowd of angry and justice-filled commoners and farmers. Taking a split second to view her surroundings, she would run into an ominous and quite putrid-smelling sewer opening from the crowd and estates. The assassin would begin to quickly climb the rugged wall of mossy bricks, managing to make her way through a small gap at the top of the already crumbling wall and into the room behind it. Taking a moment to breathe, she would look around to notice statues of other hooded figures, a symbol on the floor, and dim light coming through what seemed to be a vent from the top, though it seemed that nature had managed to cover much of that light and vent. It would seem that this place held ancient statues from whoever came before her and the estate owner. Though from the other side, an angelic-looking man would make his way through the crowd as he removed an axe rifle from his back, taking aim at the wall. A Templar angel would fire at the mossy walls, causing the assassin to be thrown forward with the rubble and land onto the cold and wet flooring of the room.
"Evening, assassin,"
yelled the angelic-like Templar, standing above rubble and fallen stone as he brandished his weapon. The room, once filled with ruins of ancient times and nature, now gleamed as a place of fallen heroes. The statues now laid broken, as did the stone walls, with the haunting air of selfish power.
You know, I always wondered what was so great about these guillotine guns. And turns out is so bloody useful.
The man removed his hat to reveal the angel's eyes of a grey hue and darkened skin that shone under what little light that showed through the demolished wall behind him.
So many years, Francide, so many to find, the airport.
The hooded assassin, now revealed by her name, Francide, would gently look up towards the man before her. To the Templar's viewing, her body was wrapped in torn and dirty teal robes of which had been covered in rubble. Gently raising herself to a kneeling position, a small wince could be seen as she reached to her side and attempted to ease the pain.
"And yet, you can't kill a single assassin that stood in your way,"
coughed out Francide with a smug smile, slowly picking up an axe near them.
"Templar you are, politically integrated, but so far from the apple of Eden, Andreas."
The Templar man scoffed as he raised the weapon to point.
"Stubborn fuck, aren't you, girl?"
questioned Andreas, the Templar-revealed man, as he gave a glare. The assassin could only smirk as the room slowly filled, with gentle fog from her hand.
"Stubborn and skilled, with a soldier's attitude, Templar."
As her words filled the room, so did the fog. Now hiding her fair figure, small steps began to echo around the room. Andreas would begin to fire his weapon and hear the loud crashing of stone and dust spreading, along with the wounded yelp of a female voice, earning a victorious cackle from Andreas.
You hide in the shadows and yet you still get hit. What a pathetic sight to your creed, assassin.
As the fog gently settled, so did the sight of the Templar's enemy running towards him with the axe in hand. The devil had shown herself with pure bloodlust in view, looking at the devil's face. Andreas could only share disgust and anger with the woman before him.
Ah, such deplorable attack, assassin.
Laughed the man as he began to overpower the Gaul in strength.
You failed at stealth. You failed at confrontation. And you will fail to reach your target. You're no assassin. No soldier. You are nothing.
The girl smirked as her head moved to face him better.
Seems that you've forgotten what rank I hold.
A small clicking noise could be heard before the assassin threw herself back and away from the confrontation, joy filling her face.
Mad.
Yelled the man before dropping the weapon and attempting to flee, only to be thrown away into the rubble. Andreas gasped for air as he stood up, ignoring his pain and making his way to the assassin. The girl could only stand in shock as she watched the man step forward, as if he was not close to death. With quick thought, she ran into the man and attempted to tackle him, only to be countered with a simple throw. The assassin rose to her feet, only to be knocked away with a punch from the Templar. Andreas roared in madness.
You bloody assassin. You can't kill me. I am the one thing you can't get rid of.
Franside could only attempt to throw a few hits, but with each she was unsuccessful, though Andreas was able to get a hold of the thinner one, throwing punch after punch with insults.
Skilled soldier you are.
Gritted the angelic man as he held the now dis-hooded woman into the floor by the throat.
Any more useless tricks?
The gal could only attempt to take breaths as she continued to attack from a cornered position, struggling out a fatal sentence.
An assassin always has a first tool.
With a gentle flick from the devil's wrist, a thin piece of metal shined silver before escaping the light's view into darkness. Soft silence filled the air as Andreas quickly stood up and stumbled away, soon falling onto his knees, gripping at the side of his throat. He glanced up at the standing assassin, noticing red liquid running down her hand and blade.
An assassin's blade.
Gurgled out the fallen angel as he continued to hold on to dear life.
Quite
Began the shadowy devil.
a hidden blade, one used by many other assassins.
The redhead could only stumble towards the man as she raised her hand out, showing not only the wrist blade, but also a now missing ring finger.
Altair, father of rebirthing the Brotherhood, once made the blade no longer have a need for a finger sacrifice. Yet I stand for traditions, and in order to prove my loyalty to the freedom of all, I shall sacrifice such a finger.
Andreas could only look in fear as the assassin quickly kneeled and plunged her blade into his chest, only to then show the quick death leaving his eyes.
Repose in paix,
Bellowed the French girl as she laid man down gently.
mon frère. May the creed cause you peace and rest, for you were a man that blindly followed the truth of ignorant law.
Her eyes, now glowing in a soft hue of emeralds, she took her leave to the opening made by the explosion.